Sara from AverageBetty here at Los Angeles Times Test Kitchen with Russ Parsons, the editor-in-chief of the Los Angeles Times food section. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, Russ.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you. Thanks for coming.
What are we preparing today?
Well, I'm going to make something called a Woven Zucchini Raft.
A zucchini raft. If the test kitchen floods, am I going to be able to use this as a flotation device?
I think, yes, and the stewardess will come through and she will explain that to you. It'll be under the seat.
Well, let's get cooking.
All right, let's do it. The first thing that you need to do is trim the zucchini so that it'll fit. Like that. The secret to this thing is one of these little, it's called a Benreiner, and it's a mandolin. It's extremely sharp, so you got to be really careful with it, but it allows you to slice really, really thin sheets. You just run this over the mandolin, and you see it makes those really nice, thin sheets.
Like ribbons.
And now, just going to sprinkle these with salt. Now that looks like a lot of salt. It is a lot of salt if you were going to eat it, but we're not going to eat it. The only purpose for this salt is to draw the moisture out of the zucchini. And then we're going to rinse the zucchini and we're going to pat it dry afterwards. You need to let it sit for, 30, 45, ideally an hour. And when you're done with it, what you'll get is something that looks like this. This is the same zucchini, been sliced, it's been salted and let to stand, then it's been rinsed and patted dry in paper towels. The texture when you're done with it will really be a lot like a fresh pasta. It'll be very, very flexible. It's like a fabric. Feel that?
Yes, it is. It's like a silk zucchini ribbon.
Yeah.
The event that you're doing at The Taste with Michael Cimaresti is Field to Fork. Does that have anything to do with eating dirt?
Well, if you don't wash your vegetables, it certainly could. But no, we hope that it's more about the connection between where food comes from and how it winds up on your plate.
Who has a better beard, you or Michael Cimaresti?
I think Michael wins on volume, but I think mine wins on just kind of a certain debonair je ne sais quoi.
Absolutely. Have you considered having a beard off at The Taste?
Little that's what we ought to do. I'll bring it up with him.
I definitely think so.
I know he's very proud of his. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a little bit of a vinaigrette. So we're going to mix some olive oil, probably about 3 tablespoons, garlic, lemon juice, and then a bit of salt. Now these sealed jars are great for making vinaigrettes because you can just shake it. You don't need to do the whole fancy whisk thing unless you've got your ego involved in that. But
there's no ego in this test kitchen.
No special equipment, nothing fancy, but you've got a perfectly emulsified sauce. And you add just a tad because you just want to add enough to just kind of moisten it. We're just seasoning it a little bit. We're not, you don't want dressing to be floating on the bottom of the plate or anything like that. And now we'll build our escape raft.
Excellent. I'm always looking for a way out of situations.
You arrange 3 strips going in the same direction, side by side. And now to weave it, lift up this end. It's just like building a lattice pie crust, kind of.
I think I've seen this done with bacon before.
Don't even talk about bacon because everybody's going to be doing this with bacon. They're not going to be doing it with zucchini. And zucchini needs love too.
Well, bacon's always in season, right?
Yeah. Bacon is the universal fruit. It is always in season and it makes everything better. And there, you've got your raft. Now the survivor who's going to be floating on this particular raft is going to be goat cheese.
Okay.
Now just add a little bit more of that vinaigrette to the goat cheese. Remember, we're just seasoning it. You can leave a little bit left over.
Okay.
And some oregano.
And this is just dried oregano.
This is dried oregano. Oregano is like one of the few herbs that I think it's actually better dried than it is fresh.
If I don't like goat cheese, what else can I use?
Burrata would be so good with this. Now, I think the goat cheese is good because it's got a little bit of a tang that burrata doesn't have, and I think it really complements the zucchini well.
So kind of any soft cheese, you're saying, though, might work, whatever you like, maybe even a ricotta?
I mean, ricotta would be really, really good. You want something that's soft and fairly bland so that you can kind of beat the other flavors into it and add the flavors that you want. And once that's done, the only thing that's left to do, we'll just slice up some of these tomatoes and we'll add this to the vinaigrette as well. And now we'll build this out. And it's just a matter of picking up some of the goat cheese and then scatter these, however many you want. They're there for flavor, but they're also there to kind of add that pop of color. And then to finish it, the only thing that you need to do is just season it with a little bit of this coarse salt and some fresh basil.
Well, and that's the leaf of the summertime right there.
Isn't it? I mean, olive oil, basil, garlic, tomatoes, zucchini. I mean, you want to know what seasonal cooking is? This is seasonal cooking.
They're the BFFs of the culinary world.
Yes.
Russ, this looks absolutely beautiful.
We're ready.
It looks seasonal and summertime, the perfect capper to the end of summertime, Labor Day weekend.
It's a really nice, kind of light, fresh introduction to a meal.
Everyone needs a flotation device in their meal repertoire.
Exactly.
That's delicious, Russ.
Didn't your mama tell you not to talk with your mouth full?
Fortunately, my mom doesn't watch this show.
She will now.
Get Russ Parsons' zucchini raft recipe at AverageBetty.com. Wow, well, beautiful, delicious, and 100% safe. And you don't have to turn on your oven. This is my kind of summertime dish.
Thanks for having me on. It's been wonderful.